Hey everybody, it's Callus, and welcome to the Pokemon Perfect 2022 ADV Championship. I've covered this tour in each of the last couple of years, and it's been pretty well received here on YouTube, so of course, I'm going to bring it to you again. I am quite busy these days, so I'm not going to be bringing it from the round of 16 on. That's just too many matches. It would be 8 matches in the round of 16 alone, but I am going to cover it in its entirety from the round of 8 onward, which is where we are now. So a very quick refresher as to what this tour is. If you play in our opens in any tier, but ADV in this case, the winning player and the second place player, they automatically qualify for this, and then the remainder of the spots are filled out by people who have the most ADV championship points, which you get just by finishing as well as possible on in these tournaments on Pokemon Perfect. So at the end of the day, we wind up with a 16-person tournament. It is seeded at single elim, and at the end, somebody's our champ for the year. So like I said, the round of 16 did already occur, and I won't be covering that, but I will tell you that our two players today. So we've got on the bottom Pan with Queso, who with an upset on paper as the 16 seed defeated our 1 seed, Kale, who made it to the finals of this tournament, I believe, just last year. So that was a big win for him. On the other end, we have Shitrock Enjoyer. That's Fruhdazi, and he defeated Sprinkles in the round of 16. So they are the first pairing to play here in the round of 8. And these are best of 3 matches. Let's get into it. So Pan with Queso, also known as White Bread with Cheese, is going to be on the bottom. And then Shitrock Enjoyer, like I said, is Fruhdazi. He's going to be on the top. And he's going to start out with bad luck immediately by missing Rock Slide on Zapdos. That's going to prompt out a Blissey. That could have gone really poorly had he BP'd out there and caught it with a Dug, but was not able to pull the trigger. Is going to BP now and is going to wind up on Meta. And now the luck is going to reverse, so fair enough. There's a freeze, so Haxie game just 3 turns in this game 1. There's a wish that he's threatening to pass to T-Tar, but you've got to be careful about EQ, Focus Punch, what have you. But does not seem to have those things, and that wish is going to be successful. So now Fruhdazi clearly in the lead because of that freeze. Rock Slide will connect this time, but it's not as exciting as it would have been against Zapdos. That's going to be against Claydol. There's got to be a Dug in the back for Pan with Queso. Otherwise, why else would you possibly play like this? The Zapdos would have just died to CB Rock Slide, so if he's willing to stay in and Thunderbolt it, he's got to have a Dougie in the back, you would think. Going to go for Drill Peck here. Underwhelming 27% chance against Bliss, but does at least set up a chance to kill her with a crit. But that doesn't come, and I don't know, maybe he doesn't have Dug, because he missed an opportunity to go to it there on what was an obvious soft-boiled turn, but I guess the spike does change the math a little bit. Here comes Lax, which is just going to return. Skarm is going to not care about that at all. Certainly, Fruhdazi feels ahead in the early stages of this game. Through the first dozen turns, it doesn't feel like Pan with Queso is making a lot of progress, whereas Fruhdazi has gotten a lucky freeze, has established a spike, has gotten chip damage on a couple of the Mons. It certainly seems like Fruhdazi is ahead at this moment. Wow, and he's going to double back to Zapdos into the CB-locked T-Tar, who's on Rock Slide, so he's going to obviously trade via Dugtrio, which we knew was in the back. And there is the Earthquake kill to leave us with a quick revenge kill, 5-5. They both have Drill Peck Zap. That's kind of uncommon. But Hidden Power is going to make it so there's no damage roll to speak of. That's just always going to get him, whether it's grass or ice, and it's almost always grass when it's paired with Drill Peck. And Claydol goes down to give Fruhdazi the clean lead of 5-4. Full team now revealed for White Bread with Cheese. He makes rain, but he gets immediately blown up on. And here's Dougie trying to catch something, but Skarm is not that something. Last poke now shown for Fruhdazi is just Swampert. Rock Slide, I guess hoping Zapdos switches in, or I guess trying to flinch the Skarm on the way out, but the damage is pathetic against Pert, and it's going to start cursing up. No choice but to switch as far as he's concerned, and he's going to go to a frozen Metagross against a Mon using a setup move. He's obviously pretty desperate here. He has a 1-turn window right there to just thaw out and boom, but he doesn't get that, and Earthquake going to easily kill him after the 2 curse boosts. So now he's going to go to the final desperate plan of curse up with him, but too little too late. The Earthquake here is simply going to kill him despite the defense boost that the curse provided, and game 1 pretty handily is going to go to Fruhdazi. They both did get the early hacks with the rock slide miss and the freeze respectively, as it turns out, especially with the Dougie in the back. The freeze mattered a lot more, but at no point in this game did it feel like Fruhdazi was ever behind. He's going to take this one pretty convincingly. But it's best of 3 for a reason. Anything can happen. Anyone who's ever watched Pokemon, never mind my channel, we've all seen people come back from the bad end of a best of 3. Let's hold our horses here, huh? Here's game 2. Pan with Queso, still White Bread with Cheese. He's on the bottom. Shitrock Enjoyer, still Fruhdazi. He's on the top. Hydro Pump Miss irrelevant there. There's the boom in the trade. We've got ourselves a 5-5. Skarm is going to scare away the Salamence, lay down spikes. Regice almost always has T-Bolt, and he very well still may, but he goes for T-Wave instead. And there's the switch back to T-Tar. Ice Beam there is a good chunk. Regice hits hard. He's got a very high base special attack stat, and a lot of the time he goes modest. Well, that Medicham is not going to like this at all. That Focus Punch is going to do 67%, despite being not very effective. And the best he could do back is Brick Break here. Skarm is paralyzed. You might be tempted to stay in if you're Medicham. And indeed, he gets a Focus Punch off through a full para, so he catches a big break there and catching the Skarm. So Pan with Queso does in fact take his first lead of the series, but it is short-lived as Aerodactyl clicks Double Edge for the revenge kill. Leaves us in a quick 4-4. This doesn't look like it's going to be the world's longest game either, one way or another. These are 2 offensive teams. Earthquake and Hydro Pump respectively. Fruhdazi retakes the lead. They both have an unrevealed in the back. Poison Regice coming into Swampert, which prompts out Tar. Ice Beam there looking for a crit ideally, but a freeze would suffice as well. Doesn't find either of those, and he is now outsped and killed, and just like that, a dozen turns in. Pan with Queso is down to just 2 Mons, one of which is still unrevealed. He's gonna Dragon Dance up and try to avoid getting crit, but despite the Intimidate, he is still going to take lethal damage from the Rock Slide with the help of the Sand, and now Meta is the only thing that can get him out of this. Agility is the ideal set here, but he is still going to need luck. I think that Earthquake is wrong. I think you have to mash there, because the only way to win is to get an attack raise. He sees it differently, and he's going to have to Earthquake now. He's committed. But the damage roll does not cooperate, and Fruhdazi is going to hang on. I think the meta did have the chance to sweep there with a better damage roll against the Swampert, or if he had initially gone for Mash on Tar rather than EQ and simply gotten an attack raise. I think it was a mistake to go for EQ. I think it was short-term thinking. I think, yeah, you beat the Tar that way, but you have to beat everything else also. So if you want to win the game, not just beat the Tar, you've got to play for the raise. So I think that was a mistake, but obviously, even had he gone for the mash, it could have missed. He could have simply not gotten the attack raise. It wasn't a blatant throw. It was just a mistake. And we also don't know what the last poke was for Fruhdazi, but I mean, had it been something like Bliss or whatever, it really could have mattered. The meta, if it doesn't eat a second Earthquake from Swampert, is maybe in range to where it can survive an attack from Blissey. Likewise, a +1 meta could do severe damage to a Blissey. I don't know, and we'll never know, but as it stands, this was a quick series. Game 1, just 26 turns, and Game 2, only 17 turns. Fruhdazi going to take them both, and he's going to be our first player in the top 4 of the Pokemon Perfect 2022 ADV Championship. Like I said, I plan on covering the remaining duration of this tournament in its entirety, not the round of 16, but round of 8 onward I'm going to be covering. So you can look forward to those matches here on my YouTube channel. But in the meantime, if there's something else that you want to see videos about, please do let me know in the comments, and I'll try to accommodate you. I've got some cool features coming up that I'm going to be announcing in the next few days, I hope, on Discord. And hopefully that'll be worthy of your attention. And then coming up soon is SPL, which I hope to manage again, but yeah, didn't finish so good the last 2 times. So who knows? I'll keep you guys informed. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.